Hey there, Wildcats. This is the review for your PolyOp 2 test. And let's get started. So Jacob used the box to determine the quotient represented by the expression 2x squared minus 3x minus 9 divided by x minus 3. So we want to fill in these missing boxes. Okay? So to fill in these missing boxes, we're going to start with this top box here. So x times what's going to get me 2x squared? 2x. 2x times negative 3 is going to get me negative 6x. Next, we're going to look at this diagonal. We want it to add up to the middle number. The middle number is negative 3. To do that, we're going to take that middle number. We're going to do negative 3 minus negative 6. That is going to get me positive 3x. Now, what times x gets me 3x? Positive 3. 3 times negative 3 is going to get me negative 9. All right, this matches this, so we don't have a remainder. Now we just need to write our answer. Our answer is the top of our box, which is going to be 2x plus 3. Beautiful. All right, number 2. We're going to make a box again. We're going to put the dividend on the side, so 2x plus 5 goes on the side. We're going to put the first term in the first box, 8x squared. All right, we've got what times 2x is going to do 8x squared? 4x. 4x times 5 is going to get me 20x. We're going to take our diagonal, and we want it to equal 14. So we're going to do 14 minus 20. Which will get me negative 6x. What times 2x is going to get me negative 6x? 3. Oop, hold on. Negative 3. Not positive, negative 3. Negative 3 times 5 will get me negative 15. The top of my box is my answer. So my answer is going to be C. 4x minus 3. Okay, so number 3 on your test, you are going to have to show a lot of work for number 3. You're going to have to do 2 boxes. So we're going to do the first box here. All right, we're going to put the dividend on the side. And put the first term in the first box. All right, what times 3x gets me 6x squared? 2x. 2x times 2 is 4x. Take our diagonal. We want it to add up to 7x. So 4 plus 3 is going to get me 7. What times 3x gets me 3x? So it's going to be 1. 1 times 2 is 2. Now we want to see if this right here is going to match. I don't know if I have another color. Ooh, I have purple. The end here, 2. Since those 2 match, we do not have a remainder. B. All right. Let's try the second one, because we don't know if they're both going to be that way. So we'll draw a box. We're going to put 3x plus 2 on the side. 6x squared in the first box. All right. What times 3x gets you 6x squared? 2x. 2x times 2 is 4x. We're going to take our diagonal. We want our diagonal to equal negative 5. So we're going to do negative 5 minus 4. Negative 5 minus 4 is negative 9. All right. What times 3x gets me negative 9? Negative 3. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. Now this does not equal my last term, negative 5. So yes, we will have a remainder. And you don't need to know what the remainder is, just if it does. Okay? We've got moving. Number 4. Let's make a box. So we're going to find our quotient. 5x plus 4 is going to go on the side. 10x squared is going to go in our first box. All right, what times 5 gets me 10x squared? 2x. 2x times 4 is going to get me 8x. We're going to take our diagonal. We want it to add up to 3. So we're going to do 3 minus 8. 3 minus 8 is negative 5x. What times 5x gets me negative 5x? Negative 1. Negative 1 times 4 is negative 4. It matches, so we do not have a remainder, so my answer is going to be the top, 2x minus 1. And you're going to have to type this in with no spaces. Okay, next page. Okay, so for the rest of these problems, the first thing we're always going to check for is our GCF. For every problem, I want you to try your GCF first, no matter what, okay? So I'm going to go open up Desmos. We're going to find the GCF of 2, 11. All right, it is 1. Going back. Now the only answer choice that has 1 is D. But let me explain how they got the letters. They both have an M. We're going to go with our smallest exponent, which is 2. They both have an N. We're going to go with our smallest exponent, which is 3. All right, number 6. We're going to check for the GCF just like we did this one. So I'm going to pull up my Desmos. We're going to do 16, 12, 24. Our GCF is 4. Okay, looking at my answer choices, I'm going to cross off 2. I'm going to cross off the ones that have 2, so A and C. Each of these also have a B, so we're going to divide each of these by 4B. 16AB divided by 4B. 16 divided by 4 is 4. The B's are going to cancel out, so we're going to have A. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Subtract our exponents to get B. Minus 24 divided by 4 is 6. We're going to put it in parentheses. Our B's cancel. And write 4B. That answer is going to be B. Okie dokie. All right, moving right along. On the bottom of our paper here, we're going to have to do some boxes, all right? So we're going to check our GCF first. Our GCF for 1, 5, and negative 24 is going to be 1. All right, then I like to write my A, my B, and my C. My A is in front of x squared, which is 1. My B is in front of x, which is 5. And my C is the last number, negative 24. I'm going to make my box. We're going to put the first term in the first box, so 1x squared. All right. Then I like to make my pie chart. On top of my pie chart, I'm going to multiply A times C. So 1 times negative 24 equals negative 24. We're going to do this divided by x in my calculator. All right, so I'm going to go to Desmos. I'm going to type in negative 24 divided by x, settings table. Negative 24 divided by x plus x. All right, now looking at my paper here, I want to find my B term in the last column, so I want to find 5 in my last column. So I'm going to go back to Desmos. So right now I don't have 5, so I'm going to type in 3. See, negative 5. So since it's negative 5, I'm just going to change it to a negative 3. So we're going to write down negative 3 and 8. So we'll do negative 3x and 8x. All right. Now, we're going to multiply. We've got to find the GCF of 1 and 8, which is going to be 1x. GCF of 1 and negative 3 is going to be 1x. What times 1 gets me negative 3? Negative 3. What times 1x gets me 8x? Positive 8. 8 times negative 3 is negative 24. And we did that right. So our answer is going to be x minus 3, x plus 8, which is going to be C. Perfect. All right, number 8. The expression b squared minus 14b minus 72 can be written in factored form as b plus 4, b plus k, where k represents a number. What is the value of k? All right, so the first thing we're going to do is check their GCF. Now, since I know there's a 1 in front of b squared, my GCF is going to be 1. Now I'm going to write my a, my b, and my c. My a is in front of the b squared, which is 1. My b is negative 14. My c is negative 72. All right, let's make our box. I know 1b squared is going to go in the top box. I'm going to make my chart. Multiply a times c. A times c, 1 times negative 72 equals negative 72. So we're going to do that divided by x. So let's go to Desmos. So I'm going to do negative 72 divided by x, not z, x. Settings table, x plus negative 72 divided by x. All right, so going back to my paper, I want to find my b term. B term is negative 14. So we're going to look for negative 14 in that last column. So I don't see it right now, so I'm going to type in 3. I'm going to keep hitting enter till I see negative 14. Okay. Oop, I found it. Oh, I want negative 14. My bad. Negative 14 is here, so I'm going to write down negative 18 and 4. So positive 4 and negative 18. So I'm going to put positive 4b and negative 18b. All right. 1 and 18, their GCF is 1, so we're going to do 1b. GCF of 1 and 4 is going to be 1b. What times 1b gets me 4b? Positive 4. What times 1b gets me negative 18b? Negative 18. Negative 18 times 4 is going to get me negative 72. So let's write out our answers. B plus 4, b minus 18. All right, we're going to move this so you can see better. All right, now we're going to look here at the question they gave us originally. It says b plus 4 and then b plus k. So my k has to be negative 18. Perfect, halfway done. All right, let's go to the next page. Now, on this next page, we have 6x squared plus 7x minus 3. They've already done part of the box for us. We just need to find out what goes here and here. So we know our a is 6, our b is 7, and our c is negative 3. So I'm going to make my pie chart. A times c, 6 times negative 3 equals negative 18 divided by x. All right, and we're going to type that into Desmos, and then we're going to look for 7. So let's go to Desmos. Negative 18 divided by x. Settings table. Negative 18 divided by x plus x. So I'm going to look for positive 7, and I see it at the top, so I'm going to do negative 2 and 9. So we're going to put negative 2x and 9x. So we're going to select B and C. Perfect. All right, number 10. Make sure you show work for number 10 because it says so at the top. We're going to check for our GCF first. So our GCF of 3, 15, and 18. So GCF 3, 15, 18 is 3. So I'm going to divide each of these by 3 to get my A, my B, and my C. So my A is 3 divided by 3, 1. My B is negative 15 divided by 3, which is negative 5. My C is going to be 18 divided by 3, which is 6. Let's make our box. In my first box, we're going to put 1 n squared. We always use the A. Make our pie chart. We're going to multiply. Sorry, I did not know I did that. A times C. So I'm going to do 1 times 6, which equals 6. And then we're going to do 6 divided by x, where I'm looking for negative 5. My B in my last column. All right, so let's go to Desmos. We're going to do negative 6 divided by x. Oh, it's not negative, it's positive. 6 divided by x. Settings table. X plus 6 divided by x. I'm looking for negative 5. I see it at the top, so we have negative 2 and negative 3. All right. So I'm going to do negative 2x and negative 3x. All right. So 1n and 1n. What times 1n gets me negative 2? Negative 2. What times 1n gets me negative 3? Negative 3. Negative 3 times negative 2 is positive 6, which matches my C. So my answers are n minus 2, n minus 3, with a 3 in front. Now let's just looking for one of the factors. The only factor that is an answer is D. All right. Number 11. All right, so we're going to check the GCF once again. So we want to find the GCF of 3, 42, and 147. So we have GCF 3, comma 42, comma 147, which is 30. All right, so we're going to divide each of these by 3 to get our A, our B, and our C. 3 divided by 3 is 1. Negative 42 divided by 3 is negative 14. 147 divided by 3 is 49. So make my box. Remember, A x squared goes here, so I'm going to put 1 x squared. Make my pie chart. A times C, 1 times 49, equals 49. And we're going to divide that by x. We're going to look for negative 14 in that last column. All right, so I'm going to go to Desmos. 49 divided by x, settings table, then x plus 49 divided by x. All right, we're going to keep hitting enter until we see negative 14. Or I see positive 14, so let's change it to a negative 7. Whoop, that did it. So we have negative 7 and negative 7. All right. So 1 and negative 7 have 1 in common. 1 and negative 7 have 1 in common. What times 1x gets me negative 7x? Negative 7. What times 1x gets me negative 7x? Negative 7 times negative 7 is 49. All right, so we found our answer. Now, this is repeated twice. Since that is repeated twice, we're going to write it as x minus 7 squared, because there's 2 of them. Now, we can't forget the GCF, 3 outside. Now, I kind of wrote over it, but we're going to look here. It says 3x plus k squared. So we're looking at the negative 7 as our k. All right, number 12. Okay, write the expression 16x squared minus 81 in factored form. So let's go find our GCF of 16 and 81. So GCF 16, 81, 1. So I don't need to divide anything out to get my A, B, and my C. So I'm going to write my A, my B, and my C. My A is 16. I do not have a B, so we're going to write in 0 for my B. And my C is negative 81. So we're going to make our box. We're going to put ax squared in our first box. Then I'm going to make my pie chart. So I'm going to do A times C. 16 times negative 81. Now I do not know that off the top of my head, so we're going to go to Desmos and type that in. 16 times negative 81. Negative 1296. Now we're going to go find that divided by x while looking for 0 in the last common column. Not common, column. So we're going to do negative 296 divided by x. Settings table. X plus negative 1296 divided by x. Okay, we're going to make this a little bigger. We're going to keep hitting enter till we see 0. We're going to have to go a while. They're getting smaller. Oop, I see 0 in my last column. So we're going to write down 36 and negative 36. Okay. Perfect. Now, this type of question, it's important to actually do the GCF in our calculator. So we're going to do the GCF of 16 and 36. So I'll go back to my Desmos. I'm going to do GCF 16, 36, which is 4. So I'm going to put that number right here, 4x. Now we're going to do it for 16 and 36. Well, we just did it, so we're going to put 4x here. What times 4x will get me 36? If you don't know that, you can always do 36 divided by 9. 36 divided by 4. I just told you the answer. 36 divided by 4 is 9. And then what times 4x gets me negative 36? Negative 9. Now, on your paper, then 9 times negative 9 is negative 81. We did it. Woohoo! They match. It says answer. We do want you to write your answer on your paper. That's part of showing your work, because this is a type-in question on your test. So you're going to have to type this in with no spaces. Please write it on your paper in case you don't get it correct in the system. We know you got it right, okay? To give you that credit back. Last page. All right, 13, last one with the box. So we need to find our GCF first. So what is the GCF of 656? I believe it's 1, but let's check. GCF of 656. It is 1. So we don't have to divide it by anything to get our A, B, and our C. So our A is 6. Our B is 5. Our C is negative 6. Make our box. Ax squared goes in the first box. Then we're going to make our pie chart. A times C. 6 times negative 6 equals negative 36. We're going to do that divided by x. We're going to look for 5. All right, so I'm going to go to Desmos. I'm going to type in negative 36 divided by x. Settings table. Negative 36 divided by x plus x. And we are looking for 5. So 3, 4, 5. 5. We're going to write down 9 and negative 4. So 9x and negative 4x. Okay? Now we're going to find the greatest common factor of 6 and negative 4. Let's go back to Desmos. We're going to do GCF of 6, 4. It's 2. So we're going to write 2x on the top here. Now we're going to find the GCF of 6 and 9. 3. So we're going to write 3x on the side here. All right. What times 3x gets you 9x? Positive 3. What times 2x gets you negative 4x? Negative 2. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6, so we did it right. So my answers are here and here. So we have 2x plus 3 and 3x minus 2. Okay, so the rest of these are going to be review questions. A company currently has 880 employees. The number of employees is expected to grow at a rate of 7% each year. Write an exponential function to model the number of employees in the company Y after X years. So this is always your starting amount. So we're starting with 880. Now, all of these questions are going to be a 1 plus or a 1 minus. Since we see grow, it's going to be 1 plus. 1 plus the percentage divided by 100. 7 divided by 100 is going to be 0.07. Now you can leave it like that, or you can actually add it together. Either answer will be accepted. Okay, number 15. Number 15 is usually the most missed question. So we have 3x minus y equals 11. Now we need to solve for y first. So I'm going to put a 1 in front of my y. So I'm going to move my x over to the other side. So I'm going to subtract 3x. After that, we're going to divide by negative 1. All right, we're going to get y equals negative 11 plus 3x, but let's write it in proper slope-intercept form. All right, but we have a key word. My key word is parallel. Parallel means same slope, but different y-intercepts. So we know the slope has to be 3. So I'm going to cross off B and cross off D. Now you want to circle C because that's the slope-intercept form, but it has to have a different y-intercept. So the parallel line is going to be A. Please pay attention to that because that's what happened last year. People got it wrong because they weren't paying attention. All right, last question. The graph of the quadratic function h of x is shown on the grid. Which statement appears to be true? The function has 1 0. We have 2 zeros. Not going to work. A minimum of 4. This is going down like a frown, so we have a max, not a min, so that's not going to work. The vertex is 4, 3. This vertex is 3, 4. So that means the answer has to be D. The equations for the axis of symmetry of the graph of the function is x equals 3. All right. Study, study, study. This is just like your test.